All right, all right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Some comics. I'm getting controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with.
My proudest moment is this interview and being able to talk to you two.
My mouth is dry.
Terrible.
I should have got water. Ladies and gentlemen, boys.
Normally have tea. What's going on?
I didn't get it. I did not get it this morning. I don't know why.
Routine, man. Consistency. You got to be consistent with the routine.
I told you I was tired this morning. I told you I was.
Stop going on long walks.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 68th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I'm your host, Kyrun Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the magenta maker of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick, and together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on the Ages of Geekdom network via Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger audience. And if you want to, financially support the Four Tales podcast, please go to our website, fourtalespodcast.com, buy some merchandise, buy us a coffee. If you want to go through Facebook, send Danny some stars. I think that still works, right?
I think so. It probably does. I don't know.
Yeah. So anything you want to do. Wait. Are you not on TikTok?
Oh, no. I forgot. Maybe I'm tired, too. I'll get it set up. Hold on. I'll get it set up. Give me a minute.
Oh, wow. See, we both screwed up today. So
where's my...
The man don't even know where his phone is. That's all right, Danny. How's it going? How you doing?
It's going good. I knew I was forgetting something. I just couldn't remember. No, what happened was I'm working on these takes because we got a new guest. We got a guest that graciously came in at the last minute to save our show. And I was working on quick takes. I'm in here trying to put that together. And I forgot to set up my TikTok live. But I'm gonna do that right now.
I agree with Javon. I'm surprised you weren't twitching and going through convulsions, be like, something's up, something missing.
Something not right.
Something not right here.
My spider sense is tingling.
My Ace Blade senses.
Yeah.
All right, man. So how was your week? This was the big week for you, right?
Yes, my birthday was on Monday, and I am now 38 years old, so that means I'm half as old as Kyrun, and now I'm starting a new chapter in my life. A chapter of
Okay, why we gotta disrespect me like that? Say you're half.
I'm starting my life as a Jedi.
You're the second person in the Star Wars universe to have a purple lightsaber.
That's right.
See, if I had known we were pulling out lightsabers, I would have got mine. But
you got one?
I do. We got it 2 years ago. We went to Disneyland. I got to go through the whole situation where we make our own lightsabers.
I remember that. That's that exclusive stuff.
Whoa, wait a minute, Javon, with the Star Wars is boring. What?
Star Wars was boring at one point.
All right. Tony Clapper says, "What up, guys? Thank you for being on. If you guys notice, we're actually putting your chats on the screen, so please make sure, especially if you're on Facebook, hit that link right there so that we can see who you are. We're just trying something new, trying to make sure we can get some engagement. And if you guys don't really notice, we are sort of freestyling things today. This was an unexpected episode, but we're going to have fun either way, I would say.
We're going to talk about some comics. We're going to talk about some Kickstarters. We're going to talk about what's going on in life right now. So yeah, let's do it.
What platform are you using? Imani wants to know what platform we are using.
Is this Restream?
Yeah.
Is that what it means? That's what it means?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, Isaiah. If you're watching us, hit the link.
Yeah, we're using Restream, which allows us to go to 4 different social media platforms. So
I went live accidentally. I'm not paying attention. All right, we got to get it together, bro. We got to get it together.
All right, you know what? We're gonna bring our guy here because you're not paying attention. I need somebody to talk to. So we're gonna talk.
Please save us, Chris. Please,
Chris Thomasma.
Hey man, how's it going?
It's going all right, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Just going for a walk.
Be careful what you see in the trees when you go for walks.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful out there. You never know what you see.
Yeah, man.
Is that your normal morning routine going for a walk?
Not lately because it's been like so cold, but now it's getting better. Like for a while, I used to go out every morning at like 5 or 6 and get a bagel. So now I'm kind of like getting back to walking every morning again.
Oh wait, hold on. We got somebody else that's popping in on the stream. Hold on.
Yeah.
Nope.
We thought we
did.
Almost.
They have that connection. All right.
Close. Well, that's good though. I think it's good to get out and get active. I recently have started. I've gained a lot of weight during the pandemic, and just because I like to eat in general, and I recently started getting on. I got a bike at my house. What do you call it? What do you call those things?
Exercise bike?
Exercise bike? No, it's called something else. But yeah, it's an exercise bike.
Elliptical.
And what I'm doing now, an elliptical, yeah. And what I'm doing is I sit on it and I play Fortnite with the kids. So I sit on the bike and have my legs going, and then at the same time I'm playing Fortnite with the kids. So
Wait, are you actually using the bike, or are you just sitting on it?
No, actually using the bike.
What's going on? I was like, I'm trying to figure out what y'all talking about right now.
We're just killing time at this point.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Isaiah's on the line. We got Chris on the line. Both of you guys are amazing creators. What are we here to talk about today?
Anything you want to, but I would like to talk about, our project going on, if that's okay. But
definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So first let's introduce yourselves. I'm sure most of our audience knows you, Chris Thomasma, because we've had you on the show before.
Thanks for having me on again.
Introduce yourself, and then Zay, you introduce yourself also.
For sure.
Okay, so I'm Chris Thomasma. I create a comic called Clay Girl, but a lot of people know me for creating Base Force, which has a volume 1 and a one-shot. And now I'm doing more Clay Girl stuff. So I'm a writer. I'll draw sometimes, but mainly write. So that's kind of my thing. Isaiah, you can go ahead.
Well, I'm Isaiah Massey. A lot of people know me online as Zay Arts. I'm the creator, artist, writer for Iron Infinity, which is right here. I was like hold on. I don't know if y'all can see that. But this is like my very first poster that I created for the comic. I'm also the creator writer of Renisha and CJ as well. That's like I guess it would be like my very first popular indie comic. So and that it goes off to be something that is connected to Iron Infinity in a lot of ways. So
okay. Now, you guys are working together though on a project right now, right?
Yeah. My bad. We're working on a new comic called. Actually, I'll let Chris do it because that's his thing.
Oh yeah, so we're working on a crossover right now that's in a Comic-Con. So it's Adventures of Clay Girl Comic Expo Special, and like it features 1 second.
Iron Infinity, Clarity Girl, and Spider Scroll. What?
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, it features his character Miss Makeshift and her cousin. What's her name again?
Jasmine.
Jasmine and Charlie McEvely's Spider Scroll.
Okay.
I love it, man. I love crossover stuff like this.
Yeah.
Um, it's always a great opportunity for more people to, to introduce themselves to your characters and to see how they would interact with the heroes. Freestyle
Yeah.
Comics did something like this with issue 4 or 5 of Hot Shot, where they brought in Dyna Girl, and it was great. Like I just love stuff like that, especially in the indie community, where it's hard to advertise for your comic books. It's hard to get new eyes on it. So
Definitely.
being able to put different characters together is always a plus for me.
Yeah,
Right.
one reason one inspiration I got from it is I was at C2 YouTube one year and I got a crossover that Kat Kalamali and Phil Falco did on for Haunting and Like Father Like Daughter. I
Oh yeah,
loved how
Okay.
well those two introduced those characters, but at the same time, since I knew them, it was like an added plus. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to do with this one, where you don't have to know anything about the characters to enjoy them.
Yeah.
At the same time, if you do know these characters, you'll enjoy it more.
Nice.
Yep.
Also, want to choose creators like Isaiah and Charlie that already have stuff in the works. So like, if you want to know more about Miss Makeshift or Spider Scroll, you can do that.
Mhm.
Now I gotta ask because I'm looking at the Kickstarter right now, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat for other people to see. But I'm noticing in this picture we got Spider Squirrel and Clarity Girl in an embrace, a kiss. Is there a romance between the two that we need to know about, or what's going on there?
Oh yeah, it's funny because back in 2021, after I read, I think Spider Scroll issue 2 or 3, I forget which one came out at that time. I was like, I messaged Charlie and I was like, I know this is gonna sound weird, but I think Clarity Girl and Spider Scroll like each other, like each other. And that's kind of how we got the ball rolling for that. It's because they're both really funny characters, and I thought, Clarity Girl would like Spider Scroll. He's got that silly goose in him.
Thomas here says I fell in love with Clarity Girl the first time, Chris.
Who said that?
I don't know. It just says
Facebook
Facebook
user.
user.
Okay, well, text me whoever that is.
Got
I
some
love it.
stuff going on in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got that wind blowing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going
Yeah,
crazy.
it's windy right now.
But yeah, as far as the comics concerned, like it takes place mainly in a comic convention setting. And my last comic convention was like MomoCon of last year, and
Okay.
that was the first convention I've really been in probably like 6 or 7 years. So like just being a part of this project, like kind of like brought back memories of when I went to MomoCon and I was attending it. So I guess that's kind of another reason why I wanted to join this and why I wanted to put this, a lot of the writing part together. Because like I just like the convention scene. Like it's cool as hell, especially when you're there making money.
Yes.
I
So
was gonna, I was gonna ask where did the I was gonna ask whose idea was to put it in a convention. Now I really
it
like
was
that.
actually, I think it was Chris's idea, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I've always loved Comic Cons, and like for so many years, I'm like, I want to write a comic book story in a Comic Con. I always had this idea for one, and then a subplot for a comic book creator. That's what really got me like, oh, now I know what to do with this. So me and Charlie worked on the subplot for the comic book creator story, and honestly, like, there's a scene in that where I'm hoping it's funny just so people can read that scene and why I love comic book conventions so much. So that's why this crossover is really interesting to me because it answers that question of why I truly love Comic Cons.
Now, is this a book that possibly could lead to more cross-ups between your characters in the future?
Oh yeah, someone who saw the crossover offered me a crossover, and we've already been working on that crossover already.
Wow.
So
Nice.
yeah, we just have to get through this one first.
Does it help? Does it help that Isaiah, you're artist, right? I'm looking at your
Yeah.
page. I see a lot of great art on here. This is
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with your work, so this is great art.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
So who is I'm looking at the Kickstarter page. I just backed, by the way, because I honestly this is my first time seeing it. When
Thank you.
Kyrun sent me the other day, so I'm just backing it now because I definitely want to get it. And I'm looking at the art team on here. So we got the creators, Chris Thomasma, Charlie McKelvey, who knows the creator of Spider Squirrel. We got Isaiah Massey, yourself, and then we got Sharon Shiro Gauthier.
But yeah,
So is she the main artist for this book?
yeah, they're the main artists for this book, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what I was gonna say after that, but yeah, they're the main artists for this book. A backup story as the back of that done by Nicholas Torres, where Clay Girls with a little kid. So we got that one that's gonna take the Clay Girl as a teenager.
I love it.
And one of the rewards, at least I enjoyed or I thought was really interesting, was this Q&A between you and the backer with all three of you guys. Now in this Q&A, what can we expect if we are going to back it? Is it going to be pretty low key? Is it going to be fun? Like what can we expect with that?
Another interesting thing, another awesome thing I love about Comic-Cons. So it's going to be like a Q&A panel where you guys can ask us anything about the book. Sometimes we'll go off topic. Really, it's going to be kind of like a Comic-Con panel, which can be fun. Another thing I love about Comic-Cons is that you can really talk as you're buying them, and sometimes you get that story about that book you wouldn't have known if you bought it online. So that's another.
Nice. All right, here. I'm just looking through comments right now. Jabon says he likes bid conventions.
Yeah, yeah, I love big conventions. Like the small low key ones are cool. That's honestly where I first got my start. Like it's one out here in Atlanta called Onyx Con, and they haven't done anything in a long time. I think like since before the pandemic and all that. But when they were doing things, they had a really small low key one, and it was mainly for Black artists and Black people basically. And like it was super cool, but it was very low key. So when I got into the big boys, like which one? It was like Wizard World Comic Con or something like that. Like that just blew my mind. Yeah. That one hasn't been around in a long time either.
Yeah, Wizard World, I want to say Wizard World turned into Galaxy, I believe.
Okay, got you.
Con is now what Wizard World used to be. I don't know what the reason was for the change, but I'm sure it was financial involved.
Yeah, I think
it was finances.
Yeah, I think they were going back.
They financially started having some issues. They had cut back on what they were doing, unfortunately.
Got you.
Yeah, I think it's the cruise that really hurt them.
What was that?
I think it was a cruise they tried to start that really hurt them. But yeah, Wizard World is my first Comic-Con. I remember going with David Jackson on one, and he was showing me the time. I was just selling stuff like Spider-Man prints and whatnot. But now like when I go to a comic, I'm selling my stuff, so I don't even really worry about fan art anymore.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So, in the future of comics. All right. I know you said you got more crossovers planned, more things like that. Is that, to me, that's one of the best things about being an indie creator is you can literally do whatever you want. Like I know, if we worked for Marvel and DC and we had access to, the biggest characters in the world, we would be able to, bring some Spider-Mans and some Supermans into our stories. But I think it's almost better. I actually made a TikTok the other day about the difference between indie comics and mainstream, and how indie is more like manga in my opinion. You
Mhm.
can where you can get into it. It's not 300 issues that you got to figure out which version of the character you relate to. If you see indie characters book, you kind of know what you're gonna get. You can kind of see and tell what it's like, and most of them are 2 to 10 issues. So I think, like, for the future of comic books, indie might be the way to go because from what I'm hearing, a lot of people are disinterested in buying old school stuff these days. What do you think about that?
I think you have a point in like some ways, but I don't think American comics is just. But honestly, that's why I'm trying to follow manga that manga model. You can get any issue of Crazy Girl, and that's a jumping issue right there. So
I feel like, well, I have a question. Do you feel like indie can like bring back the comic book stores? Like, you know how like comic book stores are kind of like going downhill because nobody's really interested in Marvel and DC. So do you feel like indie could be like the replacement for that, and maybe bring back comic book stores to a newer light or whatever?
It's tough because you have to build the audience first, right? You gotta
Yeah,
go to these
yeah,
local shows and you gotta get some visibility, at least local visibility, in order to kind of support that. In order to bolster the comic book stores in your area with your
hmm
product, you got to have the
hmm
demand for it. So it's kind of hard to do when you got to spend $1,000 on ads just to get your stuff seen, and you got to put out enough content to keep people engaged. But I
yeah,
think if there was proper infrastructure or some support for it, it really could be, because I got 4 children and they all love manga, because when I take them to the comic book store, there's a manga section now. They can
hmm
go in there and they can see Haikyuu, and they can see, okay, book 24 of My Hero Academia is out. They can go in there and see that. And they can go into Barnes and Noble and see that. They can go into Walmart and see that. Anywhere they go, they can see these books. So I just think it's 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 gonna be tough, but I just think that it could definitely. But there are books like Bitterroot, and Image has a lot of books that still have that same kind of following because they're
hmm
more diverse. They're not all superhero stuff, and the kids are into that stuff. The young people are into that stuff.
And I
So,
think
I think it's
Javon
also
has a good point on this too. He was all like, indie comics don't come out on a monthly basis. That does hinder us in any way of actually getting traction in a store. Because if you could tell a store that you're only going to produce one book a year, they're not going to be too interested in doing that because they have to find a way of producing money on a monthly basis. So
hmm
until we can get that high quality book on a regular basis, there's no way for us to circumvent what Marvel and DC are doing, unfortunately.
And I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie, that's legit my schedule. Like I do one book a year.
Yeah. Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah,
yeah.
I'm just realizing this is my 10th year doing comics, and we literally have 10 books out at this point. Um,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to speed up hoping to speed it up a little bit to 2 or 3 books a year, but that's hard to do. It's
Yeah,
hard. You
yeah,
know, Kyrun
Yeah,
can do
that's
6 books a year, but it's tough.
wow.
very.
yeah. One
We also
thing I
need
also want
to
to
we need to lessen this narrative that comic books as a whole are doing bad. Are they as good as they were back in the 90s, early 2000s? No, but they're still doing well enough for Marvel and DC to make a good profit every month. So they're not doing billions of dollars, but they're still making millions of dollars of profit every month off of us. So we need to we need to change that narrative a little bit when we talk about comics in general.
No, I don't mean to say that comics are dying or that comics are doing bad. I just mean that the general audiences are not going to comic book stores that's the main place to buy comic books, like the monthly comics that come out, the individual issues. And there's a dedicated fan base that's still going to these stores, and I'm one of them. But
me too.
The general audiences are not able to find these books because they're not in Walmart and they're not on Amazon, readily available like
it was back when we were kids.
Right.
Yeah, I also just want to say that a lot of this has to do with name brand too. I was promoting the previous Kickstarter stores, and now told me no. Like after I did my pitch and everything, but a lot of reasons that stores will carry something is the name brand, like anti-press, that kind of stuff. So I think name brand outside of
it would be good to have Marvel and DC on there, or for your character to be a household name. But that's goes back again saying about
that. Not with Marvel and DC.
Oh, well, yeah, but yeah,
I'm good with that one. Y'all can have that one.
All right, so there's an interesting question in the chat here from BHND The Scene. It says, when it comes to Black creativity in writing, we excel commercially and critically in every genre except for superheroes in comics. Why is that?
That's behind the scene.
I get that, but I see it now. It is behind the scene. Whatever.
I think it has to do with like Javon said, we gotta stop being concerned with the general audience, because the general audience sees a specific type of character as the superhero, as superheroes or whatever. I think especially for Black creatives and Black audiences who want to see Black heroes, there's plenty of us who buy these books. I got 4 boxes full of just Black superhero comics. I got Nubia, and I got Storm, and I got Black Panther, and I got Luke Cage, and I think there's a great audience for that. And I hate to say that Javon is right, because he rarely is, but those general audiences aren't gonna be receptive to that right now until it's a character like Black Panther or Miles Morales who's had that cachet over the last decade or last 2 decades, that they've seen enough alongside these other heroes, that they can support, in a general sense. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. I might have a controversial opinion here now, but I think us Black creators are.
We couldn't hear you.
I can't hear you, Chris, over the wind.
The wind is killing you.
Sorry.
And I hate to miss the controversy. Say it again.
I was gonna say, I don't think us Black creatives are doing enough with superheroes. Like, there's not enough new stuff out there. Like, you pretty much see the same skin tone, the same hairstyle, the same everything, and most of the time the same powers. So I don't think us creatives are doing enough, in my opinion. Like, one of the reasons I created. Can you hear that?
Yeah, we can hear that.
Yeah. So
am I wrong in thinking that the milestone characters? Am I wrong in thinking that the milestone characters are the biggest Black characters created by Black people?
Yeah, I think so.
Black Panther, Miles Morales, Spawn. Those are all white people. Storm were created by white people.
But they don't use them in any media.
Yeah.
Static.
Unfortunately.
Static, I think, is the biggest. Who created Blade? Who's the creator of Blade?
Isn't that Gene Colan, I think?
Yeah, I think
it's still white people.
I'd say Static was probably the Black hero.
Yeah, Blade was created by Gene Colan and Mark Wolfman. So
Who created Blue Marvel from the
who?
Marvel universe? Yeah, was it a white guy too?
Oh man.
Wait, Blue Marvel?
Yeah.
No, that was he's black and he's an actor.
Okay.
God,
Oh, the dude who created what's that vampire movie?
yeah. Yep.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I
Yeah.
noticed they don't use him. Marvel, they don't use him at all. Like they're not trying to put him in anything.
Kevin, how do you
Yeah.
say his last name? Kevin Gruvo?
Having something, yeah.
Griveau, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think the last time I saw Blue Marvel, anything was like an Avengers it was like their Black Avengers team, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With
Mm.
Spectrum.
That one was dope though.
But I'm talking about like the movies and the video games and stuff. Like you don't never see him in anything.
Nope.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That is wild. I mean, I use his I don't know if y'all play Marvel Snap, but I use that Blue Marvel card all the time on Marvel Snap.
Yeah. I see the advertisements on YouTube all the time.
That Blue Marvel card come in clutch. But I think, stuff like that, just like somebody in the comments said, they just don't, or maybe it was you, Zay, who said they just don't use them in enough stuff. They don't use Static
Yeah.
enough for people to see him. I mean, it's good to see him in Young Justice. It's good to see, the Batman Beyond, future episodes, crossovers and stuff like that. Back to, connecting it back to y'all's book. It's good to see him in crossovers and stuff like that. But we need to see, these characters get their own series and their own animations and their own movies.
Yeah, Static should definitely get like the Miles treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like the Spider-Verse and the movies and all that. Like he should get that, but he's not. And I don't understand why. It's definitely
I think you do understand why. I think you understand. I think you understand. But no, we definitely gotta, but that's why I think it's important to go to these comic book stores and to continue to buy these books. We had a conversation about, one of these books that came out recently that the art was, kind of subpar, but we still all went out and bought it because we wanted to support, we all wanted to make sure that they keep being able to put out these books and they keep getting the support because we know that artists are underpaid and overworked. And sometimes, you just gotta support your people to make sure they get to that next level.
Right.
Hooper, thank you for putting that second comment in about your comparison between Static and Magneto, because I was trying to see where that was going at first.
Oh.
I was like, wait, who are they the same?
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, I also have a theory for why the one is popular.
Wait, say it one more time.
Sorry, man. Well, I have a theory for why like the white ones get more popular. The white ones get more popular than the black ones.
What's the theory?
I think my theory is I was reading something about why they do that for women characters and how basically men like to write most of the time like to write men, so there's not much stuff that I don't know, but then like I don't remember much of it, but it was basically like it was more palatable rather than when a woman creates something, then it's more for women. So I think the same thing can be said about versus white creators. It's more palatable.
I can see that.
Does that make sense?
No, I can see that. And I think that goes back to the general audience. It's hard in 2023 because there's a niche for everything, right? Now you can find success with pretty much anything that you can create. If you want to do a supernatural sci-fi with elves and whoever, you can do that, and there's going to be an audience for it. But if you want to reach a general audience, you got to make a general type of story, and it's harder for indie creators, I'd say, to break through with that kind of story because we already got Batman and Superman, and we already got Spider-Man. We already got, you know, the characters that are hitting those general audiences. So it's tough to kind of break through that when, you know, everything that would kind of diversify you from that is going to put you in a niche, right? So if your character is black, that's going to put them in a niche. There's a certain segment of people that's going to see that as a niche. If your character's a woman, there's people that's going to see that as a niche. If your character's transgender, they're going to see that as a niche. If they are disabled, they're going to see that as a niche, you know? So it's kind of hard to get those things to the general audience without, again, building that foundation and the crossovers to put them beside the characters like Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman and Wonder Woman. And the time that it takes to do that, a lot of us just don't have that. Man, it's tough, man. There's a lot of complexities in this in the conversation for creators. But it's always good to have.
Yeah, in the comic we're doing now is the complexity of niche writing versus commercial writing, and why it's important to do those niche writings. I don't know if you heard that.
Man, it is really hard to hear you, Chris. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That wind is just killing you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I thought
Chris,
this would be a good idea.
Huh? Yeah. Just put yourself on mute until you talk, and we'll try to make sure that we hear you.
Okay.
But it's I think it's good, man. We're gonna get there. I think we just gotta keep supporting each other and learning these infrastructures and building our own, you know, ways to get books out to people. And you know, the platforms that we use to kind of get our messages out to these people, just keep supporting each other. Like stuff like this right here, where we are. I see Chris's stuff all the time. I see Chris Thomasma's posts all the time, but I did not know that y'all had a Kickstarter until Kyrun reached out to y'all about it. And I was like, oh, they got a Kickstarter? Let me take a look. I'm going to buy it.
That's because you're on TikTok all the time, though. That's not their fault. That's because you're on TikTok.
That might be. I spend a lot of time on there.
But no, we do need to find ways to work together to promote each other, because it's the only way we can get outside of, like Danny said earlier, outside of spending $1,000 a month on advertising through Facebook and Twitter. The only way we can really get together and have our book seen is if we work with each other.
Right. I agree 100%. That marketing thing is something crazy.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure that out, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's wild, especially with and I think it took me a long time to realize this, but building a community locally, like, has really been helping me. Like, I just got my books. So Ruth E. Carter is doing an exhibit in the Museum of Art in Raleigh, North Carolina, is doing an exhibit for Ruth E. Carter and the costume design that she did for Black Panther, right?
Okay.
Now, because it's a comic book movie, the museum reached out to the local comic book store and they said, hey, we want to highlight some Black comic books. Do you have any? Because I have a relationship with the comic book store, they reached out to me and said, hey, Danny, do you got any copies of Ace Blade that we can buy to go into the museum? Right.
Wow.
So now, because I got a relationship locally with this comic book store, they reached out and said, hey, let's get your books into the museum with Ruth E. Carter's exhibit on Black Panther. So now, you know, I got 10, 15 issues of my comic book sitting in there, where people, and I've had people send me pictures already, like, oh, I didn't know they got you. They were like, Danny, you know, Ace Blade is up here in Raleigh. I was like, yes, I did know that, but I appreciate y'all letting me know.
Wow.
So building that local community is very important, and it's hard. It's so hard, but it's so important also. So that might be something I wish I would have done way before. So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that. I need to do more local stuff for sure.
Chris, I see Chris in the comments, man. I got quick takes for you. I got quick
bounced out, so we can do quick takes with Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah, you can answer these questions. They were for Chris, but we're gonna ask them. We're gonna ask them to you.
Bet.
I don't have a video, man, so don't worry. So don't wait on that.
Okay. All right. So Isaiah, I don't know if you've seen our show before, but we usually do a rapid fire Q&A session called Quick Takes with our guests, where we ask you 5 questions, and you have to answer them off the top of your head. So,
sheesh.
yeah. So what we're gonna do? These are all pretty general questions, so I think you should be able to answer these.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So question number 1: what are the best kinds of Kickstarter rewards?
Anything having to do with like toys, like 3D models or something like that, statues. I feel like something like that is cool.
Okay. I love toys. I wanna get to the level we can do that. We're gonna get all 5 of these done.
It's expensive
You went from book to shoes. You just skipped the whole toy option. You just went from
Toys
book
are,
to
toys are hard to get. I can't.
Shoes are cool too. I did shoes for my last Kickstarter campaign and I actually did pretty well. So
Shoes are cool, but toys are hard to do at high quality. Like to get some
yeah,
get
it's
good quality
expensive.
toys made is expensive. So all right.
Chris is still in the chat. He said anything you can't get normally.
Okay.
Yeah,
His
that's
answer.
great.
Great answer. Question number 2: what is more important as an artist, consistency or skill?
I feel like that's like having. Can I do like a middle ground?
No fences.
Sheesh. Skill, I guess. Yeah, skill.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's see, and Chris disagrees with you.
He put consistency.
I do think it is. It's tough because I know my kids, my 2 oldest they're just good. Like the first time they picked up a pencil, they were able to draw,
Yeah.
But my son, he likes to do it consistently. So he's gotten to their level. He wasn't as good as them, but because he's consistent, he's gotten to their level, So I don't know. That is a tough one.
Y'all heard it first. Ace Blade number 7 and 8, drawn by Danny J. Quick's children. Just watch out.
Kendra's working on colors though. Colorist. I'm trying to. You already know. You already know what I'm trying to do. You already know what I'm trying to do.
Real quick, Javon saying he's buying a 3D printer. Please let me know when you do that, because I've got some ideas for. I need 3D printed, so let me know when you get that.
Yeah, if you can. I tried that, Javon, and it was because I bought the cheaper one to try it out. I couldn't figure it out. I had designs done and everything, and I couldn't figure out how to get them made.
Wait, you had a 3D printer and you didn't tell me?
I had one. I gave it to Wally so he could figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. I literally tried. I tried for like 6 months to figure that thing out. I bought the
y'all East Coast people just be sticking together. Don't even think about nobody here on the West Coast that could, need things.
I got a lightsaber.
Yeah, my lightsaber is better. It's green. All right.
It's custom too, so you can't have mine.
All right, go. Come on. Quick takes. Come on.
Knock it out of my holster.
Lord.
Yeah, this is every episode.
I wanted a break. All right, question number 3. How important is it to have influences in art?
It's very important. I have a lot of influences, as you can see. So yeah, it's very important.
Does having an influence, like a person that you look up to or a style that you look up to, help keep you motivated, or is it more about kind of seeing where you want to go with your artistic journey?
It's a little bit of both, honestly, because like I remember when I first started, I was looking at like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, and like even today you can still see it in my work, but like I'm still inspired by other stuff. So, and that other stuff is like way better than the stuff like in Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, it's a little bit of both, honestly.
I was looking at your art and I was like, yeah, I can see Sailor Moon all in this, man. I can definitely see it. So I'm glad you said that. Beautiful answer.
Wait, Danny, do you know the Sailor Moon theme song? I know you do.
Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight, never running from a real fight. This is the one thing. I don't know. I lost it.
You knew it. Don't lie.
Yeah, he tried to play.
Yeah, I knew it sounded like. I know all I know.
Put that falsetto on, yo.
He's like, if I was in the shower, I hit it right, but you know,
I mean,
I do it. Y'all don't even know. All right, no. All right. Question number 4. So, we were talking about conventions earlier, so I want to know what are the best and worst things about comic book conventions?
the best is the experience seeing all the cosplayers walking around dressing all kind of stuff. I seen a dude dressed like Misty. I will never forget that. Never. But the worst thing is con funk. Everybody knows that is the worst thing. I don't understand why people just go there, don't want to brush their teeth, don't want to take a shower. Makes no sense to me. Don't want to wear deodorant. It's weird, but hey, that's the worst.
Yeah, that con funk it's like a cloud. It's like a cloud hovering around the
and
but
not the stereotype, but there are certain people you see them, you know they're gonna be funky just right when you see them. But he coming my way too, and I can smell it already, man.
And Chris agrees. Chris agrees. I think it's Javon said the best is the money, the worst is fatigue. Yeah, especially the older that I get, you know.
Javon making money? What?
Especially if you go all 3 days or all 4 days. Oh man, it is.
It's worse. It's worse than a full-time job.
Javon make money with his books? What
Javon be out there killing it. You don't see all the pictures he be taking? He be killing it out there. I gotta send him some more Ace Blade covers because I think he's out. I didn't see any Ace Blade covers in that last set of pictures, so we're gonna get him some more out there.
I might need some soon. Also,
I
only got a couple left.
Put that man. I'm get both y'all to work. All right. So number 5. Your comic book is a crossover event. Like we said, with Chris Thomasma and Charlie McKelvey. So I want to know your top 5 crossover events. And I'll say in comics and are there crossover events in anime?
Yeah, anime, it's a couple.
Okay, so I'd say top 5 crossover events in comics and anime.
Can we do video games too?
Yeah. Video games too.
Come on now. Come on now. Can y'all see that? Number one. Number one. Marvel vs. Capcom, all of them. Wreck-It Ralph, I guess.
I like that. I like that answer.
I don't know, the specials from the old WB cartoons. Like the Saturday morning, whatever. And Secret Wars 2. I don't know about 1. I don't think I've ever read 1, but number 2 was pretty cool. So
okay. All right, man. We got one comic.
Was that 5? I don't know if I was.
Yeah, that was 5.
It was. Okay, cool. We got one comic book in there. I'll take it. I still say so my favorite crossover event on time is World War Hulk. I reread it recently. It's still as good as back in 2004 when I read it initially. I think it came out was it 2004, 2005, something like that. And it's still as good as it was then. So yeah, I love that.
Okay.
This week's quick takes was brought to us by Long Walks. Get you one right now.
On the park.
Just watch out for those trees.
On the beach.
Mm-hmm. Watch out for the jellyfish.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been fun. Isaiah, thank you for hopping on. Chris, if you're still in the chat, thank you for being on.
Thank y'all.
Especially because this was very last minute. We had a guest and they bowed out yesterday. So Chris and Isaiah at the last moment say, hey, we'll hop on. So we appreciate you guys just doing this. I know sometimes it's hard people just to jump on and just talk about their book. So
yeah.
Right.
We do want to give you a chance to talk about your work individually, though. So where can people check out your work, your books, your social media, find out about you?
Yikes. I should have had all this prepared. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. So you got my first book, Iron Infinity. You can get this at mindlessdesigns.com or gumroad.com/Zayarch21, something like that. Then you have the second one, Iron Infinity Volume 2. Same thing, mindlessdesigns.com, whatever. And when you go on that website, you can look at previews of all of my comics. So go there, check it out, whatever. Instagram is Zayarch21. YouTube is ZayMM10. And my Twitter is also Zayarch21.
Very nice. All right. Danny, Where can people check out your work?
Y'all know me. If you want to find us, the best place to go is fourthwallpros.com. If you want to find me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. What about you, Kyrun? Where can people find you and your work?
You can find me at tauruscomics.com. Get all my books there. I've redid my website, added some bundles there. So, taking some notes from my friend Danny J. Quick. He told me to update some things on my website. So I did. You can also check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Taurus Comics. And if this is your first time checking out the Four Tales podcast, please go to our website, fourtalespodcast.com. You can find all our past issues, all 67 of them there. And, like I said, you can support us financially, buy some merchandise, buy a coffee, just, help us out a little bit. But please make sure you're back here next week, the 15th of April. This is...
What's happening with that cover? You talking about my Iron Infinity one?
I don't know.
You're talking about the... Oh, never mind. My bad.
Well, I saw the comment that Vicinia said, "What's happening with that cover?" And I'm assuming she's talking about the cover she did for me. And I'll tell you, Vicinia, if you're talking about the cover you did for me, it is actually at the printer. I'm just waiting for it to come back.
I can drop it if you want. Did you show it to people yet?
I've showed it, yeah.
Okay.
I put it on, yeah. So it's at the printer. I'm just waiting for it to come back.
It's a good looking cover. I like it. You did a great job with that, Vicinia. Great job.
But join us next week, the 15th of April. It is our 2-year anniversary episode. We've been doing this now for 2 years. We have no idea what we're going to do.
I'm going to retire.
We are. That's going to be our last episode. But until then, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
So.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.